What is up, guys, and welcome to another fun and exciting episode of Bizarre Inquiries. We are back yet again to give you guys another fascinating, mind-bending episode on whatever weird topic that we want to get into today. I am the one that they call Shane Squatch.
And I couldn't remember whether we did nicknames on this or not, but Big Bad Boo Daddy Orin Felix.
I mean, both work. You can just throw both in, and it fits. It works, so.
Okay.
But as far as what we got going on today, as everybody kind of saw, we kind of changed up the format on this show a little bit. We're not just doing the specific questions, but we're doing clips, we're doing articles, stuff like that. We've done a couple on articles, so I figure I should bring a clip into the mix on this one. And I don't really want to give you any context before I get into this one. I just want you to watch this video and then give me your thoughts on it with no context to this. So let me get the screen share up so that you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Let's see. Bringing it up on the main screen so y'all guys can see. Can you see the screen right now? Can you see YouTube?
This is riveting television.
Can you see the YouTube?
The CERN dance opera film?
Yes. All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
And for everybody that's listening to this on audio, I will include this video link down in the show description because there is no words during this, so it's just going to be music for the next 2 minutes. So if anybody wants to see this to get some context and you're listening audio, link down in the show description. So make sure you guys click that.
Do you want me to crudely narrate what's going on?
Please crudely narrate. I would love that.
All right. We're looking at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN.
I'm going to turn down the audio so that
we're the
people can hear
smallest
you better.
particle. There's some people looking at some science papers and schematics right now. Some Michael Fassbender looking motherfucker. He discovers a dance of the cosmos. We got some people dancing in blue hard hats. It's getting real freaky over here. Woman seductively rubbing the Large Hadron Collider. Man walking in the desert like a zombie.
Wearing a suit shirt.
Another man rubbing the Large Hadron Collider in blue hard hat.
While feeling bliss,
having
clearly.
some sort of spell. We're looking out over the horizon. Man back at Hellscape in suit and tie. Man dancing with hard hat in Hadron Collider.
Time spinning fast as this man is dancing.
Let's watch malfunction. More
being pushed by a woman.
Desert dance.
While a man or a woman in a black robe walks around a circle.
This is some exorcism shit. Oh, lots of naked people. Whoa, I didn't know nudity was going to be involved. Hell yeah, business just picked up.
And then
Old
the
naked
man gets,
people.
There's a collision with the hydrogen particle collider, and it looks like things are getting split in this weird parallel dimension.
People.
Things are getting serious now, guys. Things are getting real fucking serious. Now we're falling into space through a hydrogen particle collider.
That kind of looks like an eyeball.
And now it says
Symmetry.
Symmetry. See, is there more context at the end, or they just end that on that symmetry? A dance opera film inside CERN, the Large Hydrogen Particle Collider. And then a bunch of random people.
That's too much shit to read.
So, again, I didn't want to give you any context, but let me know what your thoughts are on this, and CERN in particular being the one that dropped this.
Well, we've talked about CERN, I'm not mistaken, on a previous Bizarre Inquiries episode, and that might be...
Side note, by the way, this was 8 years ago, if anybody wants context.
Okay, so yeah, that might be the most sane thing I've ever heard that came out of CERN that we just watched, as weird as that was. But yeah, those motherfuckers are fucking out there. They're doing some strange things up there in Geneva.
Dude, we're talking about the whole like ritual thing, which I think is what we were talking about on that previous show, where when they first introduced the hydrogen particle collider, they did this weird destruction ritualistic dance. They showed Shiva outside, like all these people were dressed up funky and weird. And obviously everybody knows there's all these like weird occult concepts, ideas all behind CERN. And this, at least, it feels very ritualistic, but it doesn't seem too bad until we get to that point where I said shit starts hitting the fan. But when stuff starts getting weird is when it shows this visual of the dude dancing in the middle of the desert with a circle around him with this black thing, where this black woman, or not black woman, but woman wearing a black cloak walking around the outside, and just trying to like piece things together here. So when you think about like the whole ring of protection with like the paranormal, right? It's usually the salt ring. The dark entities stay on the outside while you're protected on the inside. So you bring this into the whole concept of CERN behind like the whole opening portals, opening whatever, clashing realities. And it just seems like it kind of brings on like a totally different connotation where it seems like there's safety within this circle as this guy's dancing in it and these dark entities are watching around. But like we mentioned, shit hits the fan in the middle of the video. And then that woman like pushes him from like the middle of the circle. So it's like it's an opera dance film. But what I'm getting from this is that either one, it's the usual occult trying to foreshadow things that they could believe could potentially happen, or on the other side, it's all a ritual within itself that it's like getting people to become part of the ritual. You may not be dancing in the ritual, but if you're somebody watching this ritual, you're watching this film, I feel like you're pushing more of the dark occult side of CERN work. And considering again, this came out 8 years ago, dude, I am shocked that as much as I've dug into CERN, I don't know how this hasn't like come across my desk at some point. And I found this randomly just diving into weird stuff on the internet. And again, I feel kind of bad that it's 8 years old, but like I don't feel like this film's been talked about enough with like the weird symbolism that they're showing within this dance. Because even within a dance, dude, there's so much like symbolism to that.
I'm fucking obsessed with CERN, and I've never heard anybody talk about this. First off, like, what the fuck was this even advertising? What is this? I have several thoughts about it. Number one, like you said, the whole ritualistic aspect of it, like naked bodies, basically in like some sort of fucking orgy. We got the guy like writhing out in the desert. I don't know if you remember when we did our Jack Parsons Collins Elite thing. There was the guy who talked about having like a near death experience, and when he died and kind of went to hell, it was like this desert hellscape like that. I mean, so a lot of things. This might be kind of out there, and I haven't looked into this, but just something that popped into my head. So all these people that were like seductively rubbing the Large Hadron Collider and wearing these blue hard hats, like the blue hard hats are very prominent in this. And I don't know if you've looked into like the Maui fire conspiracy at all.
With the
So
blue roofs where things were getting
yeah,
caught on
so
fire if they were painted blue roofs. And Oprah Winfrey is one of the people that painted the roof blue. Weird.
and again, I'm not a scientist. I haven't looked into this, but this is just stuff I've heard from different sources. But supposedly, and I don't know what this means, but like
We're speculating here, just so
yeah,
everybody knows.
the numeric code in some way for like the color blue is 666, and that's like why they could set these fires in Hawaii, and anything that was blue didn't burn is because they could program the weapon to not do anything that was at that frequency of 666, which is kind of funny in you know when we bring CERN into it, and they're pretty much saying they want to bring back the old gods and all that shit. So anyway,
Is the blue hat like pledging allegiance? Like it's saying like this is the crown I wear for you, like in some symbolic way, like
well,
even wearing the crown of knowing the whole concept between like how they portray Shiva with like, destruction into recreation. It's like even the hard hat on top of being blue symbolizes like that it's almost like these are like the crowns, the things that we wear to usher in the new era, you know what I mean?
And they made a point to show those blue hard hats like repeatedly. So
yeah, it wasn't just like one of those like passive kind of background things.
It's a very specific shade of blue, is it not? It's not like just straight up like royal blue. It reminds me of the shade of blue of the UN flag a little bit as well, like kind of like a paler blue, like not quite like Carolina blue. It's not royal blue. It's somewhere in the middle there.
Which is also used in the standard CERN logo. I'm pretty sure that's also the same shade of blue because they use that blue with the white.
We're going to get canceled for this. It's also kind of the same color as like the flag of Israel.
Ooh, key words there. And then also to bring this up, just out of curiosity, the definition of symmetry, the quality of being made up of exact similar parts facing each other or around an axis. So what does that also sound like to you?
Go ahead.
Almost like a reflection of like a portal. Like you talk about this, like for lack of better reference, like this like underworld, like they talk about in like Stranger Things, like the other side,
down.
Like the upside down. Yes. So tell me that doesn't sound like the whole portal concept between there's this like reverse mirrored version of our world that exists on this other side that a lot of people claim these dark entities come from. So even within the definition of symmetry, it sounds like they're portraying that it's like made of the exact parts, but like mirrored around the same axis. Like it's literally sounds like symmetry is almost talking about a portal to begin with, or like that middle point of the portal.
Well, and if we want, I think you're, spot on with a lot of that. But if we just want to take this to a nuts and bolts level, like CERN is supposed to be this like intergovernment, organization. Like, why are they spending money on whatever the fuck this was? It's revelation of the method, like in occult and magical circles, they got to tell you what they're fucking doing for it to work. And that's basically what this is. It's propaganda, revelation of the method, ritual all rolled into one and just kind of ejaculated into our faces.
I'm curious if they actually ever made this movie because I've found a lot of like trailers and stuff like that for it, but it supposedly
Shit, dude, they
out.
probably didn't have to actually make the movie. They just had to do this.
That is true. It supposedly came out in 2015 and it received 7.2 stars out of 10 apparently according to IMDb. So like I don't know if this whole movie actually had a movie aspect to it or if it was literally just
IMDb,
dancing.
part of the Illuminati, just confirmed.
Dude, I don't know about you, man, but I almost feel like I need to see this because I feel like there's a lot more occult symbolism hidden within this movie as a whole. If there's that much within like a 2-minute trailer, imagine like an hour and a half of this and actually being able to like piece this stuff together, man. Like I feel like this film needs to get dived into a lot more.
Hey, if you can find it, we should do a deep dive on it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Supposedly it's on Prime Video. I'm about to click on it. Let's see if it actually comes up. I'm sure I could probably find a free version somewhere, but apparently you can rent this movie for $5 on Amazon. So at least there's one option. I was hoping to be free on YouTube or something, but
well, like I said, I mainline any CERN shit that I can find. I love that shit, and I've never heard of this. So,
dude, so if that's like the trailer to it, it makes you wonder if it's one of those things where it's like they show all the key highlights within the trailer. If it's like you see the trailer, you've essentially seen the movie, or if it goes way deeper into this.
Because I bet there's some weird shit in the real thing.
Because I was gonna say, it seemed like there was this like breaking point where like the girl pushed the guy that was in the circle, and then that's when all this like the weird sex orgy stuff looked like it started and everything. So I'm kind of curious if it's like a drawn out thing within this movie that by the end of it, there's going to be some type of like very ritualistic like opening portals and creating this like I don't want to say necessarily a hellscape, but almost like from their perspective a utopia for like people that are into like orgies and masochism and this and that. And
just what we know about CERN, I guarantee you there's some trippy shit in that movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, apparently, dude, like if you're trying to open up portals, man, like you clearly got like some kind of fetish for Hellraiser or something like that. Because like the whole concept of that movie is that you open up this fucking portal thing and it's this box, and then they like torture you on the other side, and it's like this pleasurable pain and all this kind of shit. It's like that just shows
CERN
how sadistic
up,
of a fuck you gotta be, man. Like
CERN is straight up telling us that's what they're trying to do. Like they're not beating around the bush about this. They're telling us those are their goals. They're trying to open portals, or trying to create black holes, or trying to recreate the circumstances at the Big Bang.
They want to recreate that scene from that Nas X video that everybody tore up about.
Yeah, they're trying to bring back the old gods is what they're doing.
They're trying to get tapped by Satan. I mean, what else can I say?
On tap day, like the Skull and Bones that we just talked about.
And apparently they call this a sci-fi opera film. So it's within the sci-fi category. So even just off of that, dude, like it's going to get a lot weirder. I mean, I just want to know if there's dialogue. Is there dialogue or is it all just dancing? Either way, I'll suffer through it. But
not fiction. So it's just science fact.
Maybe.
Like, it's not sci-fi. It's sci.
Dude, what they tried to do was they tried to create a movie that has no talking in it, that's insufferable to sit through, so that conspiracy theorists wouldn't talk about it, because no conspiracy theorist wants to sit through an hour-and-a-half movie of dancing.
Hey, they fucking called us, like, all us weird, neck-bearded cryptozoologists sitting behind our laptops. So they got us. Dance is going to be our kryptonite here.
Yeah, it's going to be hidden within all the artists. That's how they're going to like talk amongst each other, because everybody knows the weird, dark, satanic underbelly of the art community. Like,
which is funny. Like, this is a bit of a spoiler for something we've got coming up. But when we get into Pizzagate and like James Alefantis and like all that weird art, yeah, the art community gets real weird real quick. So
what's that one chick's name who does all the like spirit cooking and stuff?
Abramovich.
I can't remember her first name.
Marina Abramovich, I believe.
Yeah, dude, her shit fucking weird. Like I'm gonna look it
Again,
up, dude. I would not be surprised even the least bit if she was one of the people that was at that CERN ritual opening. Like,
Well,
I
I
would
don't know
not be
about that,
surprised.
but we pretty much know. And again, this is going to tie into something we're going to talk about very soon on the show. We pretty much know that, like, the spirit cooking sessions that she did, like the podestas and shit were there. Like, we know this. We've got the fucking emails. So, yeah, these people are into weird shit.
And I don't know if you guys have seen those pictures. They claim that it's food, but like, I don't know, man. That looks visually a lot like a real body. So I mean, like, oh, it's fake, it's prosthetic, it's for art. But like, could it be a real body that you're looking at in those photos? I mean,
But what
definitely
was that
possible.
young boy wearing at the time? I mean,
That's the real question.
yeah.
And guys, with that, as usual, as we do on the show, we let our minds wander and we get into weird side tangents based off of something that we kind of have a fixed starting point at. But for anybody that watches on YouTube and doesn't actually catch the real shows, don't forget to go and check out Bizarre Encounters, where we will be covering some of those topics that Orin had mentioned. And guys, I got to tell you, every episode of Bizarre Encounters, I got to tell you, every episode of Bizarre Inquiries, because it's totally okay to let your freak flag fly, especially the spooky season. Might as well be weird. And always, always, stay bizarre, guys. And let your minds wander.
They're fucking kids at CERN.
Occultists say what?